GDP Rankings of the world's top 10 largest Muslim countries' economies. The economy of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation combines the economies of 57 member states. 53 are predominantly Muslim states. Those 57 OIC countries have a combined GDP at purchasing power parity of $27.949 billion US. According to a report by Salem Standard, the GDP impact of the world's Muslim tourism sector exceeded $138 billion in 2015, generating 4.3 million jobs and contributing more than $18 billion in tax revenue. In this video, we shall be looking at the top 10 largest Muslim countries' economies. But before we dive in, please do click on that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. Number 10. Algeria. GDP $208.7 billion. Algeria, officially the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria, is a country in the Maghreb region of North Africa. The capital and most populous city is Algiers, located in the far north of the country on the Mediterranean coast. With an area of 2,381,741 square kilometers, Algeria is the 10th largest country in the world and the largest by area in the African Union and the Arab world. With an estimated population of over 44 million, it is the 9th most populous country in Africa. The oil and gas sector is the country's main source of revenues, and it generates about 70% of total budget receipts. Algeria's nominal GDP is $208.7 billion. Number 9. Iraq. GDP $233.4 billion. Iraq, officially the Republic of Iraq, is a country in Western Asia, bordered by Turkey to the north, Iran to the east, Kuwait to the southeast, Saudi Arabia to the south, Jordan to the southwest, and Syria to the west. The capital and largest city is Baghdad. Iraq is home to diverse ethnic groups, including Arabs, Kurds, Turkmen, Chaldeans, Yazidis, Shabakis, Armenians, Mandaeans, Circassians, Serbians, and Kauliya. Around 99% of the country's 38 million citizens are Muslims, with small minorities of Christians, Yazans, Yazidis, and Mandaeans also present. The official languages of Iraq are Arabic and Kurdish. Iraq's economy is dominated by the oil sector, which has traditionally provided about 95% of foreign exchange earnings. Public sector employment accounts for nearly 60% of full-time employment in Iraq. The oil export industry, which dominates the Iraqi economy, generates very little employment. Currently, only a modest percentage of women participate in labor force. Nominal GDP is $233.4 billion. Number 8. Egypt. GDP $263.8 billion. Egypt, officially the Arab Republic of Egypt, is a transcontinental country, spanning the northeast corner of Africa and the southwest corner of Asia by a land bridge formed by the Sinai Peninsula. Egypt is a Mediterranean country bordered by the Gaza Strip and Israel to the northeast, the Gulf of Aqaba and the Red Sea to the east, Sudan to the south, and Libya to the west. Across the Gulf of Aqaba lies Jordan, across the Red Sea lies Saudi Arabia, and across the Mediterranean lie Greece, Turkey, and Cyprus, although none share a land border with Egypt. Egypt's economy depends mainly on agriculture, media, petroleum imports, natural gas, and tourism. The government has invested in communications and physical infrastructure. Egypt has received United States foreign aid since 1979 and is the third largest recipient of such funds from the US, following the Iraq War. Its nominal GDP is $263.8 billion. Number 7. Bangladesh. GDP $286.2 billion. Bangladesh, officially the People's Republic of Bangladesh, is a country in South Asia. It is the 8th most populous country in the world, with a population exceeding 164 million people. In terms of landmass, Bangladesh ranks 92nd, spanning 148,460 square kilometers, making it one of the most densely populated countries in the world. Bangladesh shares land borders with India to the west, north, and east, Myanmar to the southeast, and the Bay of Bengal to the south. It is narrowly separated from Nepal and Bhutan by the Siliguri Corridor, and from China by Sikkim in the north, respectively. Dhaka, the capital and largest city, is the nation's economic, political, and cultural hub. Chittagong, the largest seaport, is the second largest city. Bangladesh has the world's 39th largest economy in terms of market exchange rates and 29th largest in terms of purchasing power parity, which ranks second in South Asia after India. The country has a market-based mixed economy. According to IMF, its per capita income was $1,906 in 2019, with a GDP of $317 billion. Bangladesh has the second highest foreign exchange reserves in South Asia after India. Its nominal GDP is $286.2 billion. Number 6. Pakistan. GDP $306.7 billion. Pakistan, officially the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, is a country in South Asia. It is the world's fifth most populous country, with a population exceeding 212.2 million. It has the world's second largest Muslim population. It is the 33rd largest country by area, spanning 881,913 square kilometers. Pakistan has a 1,046-kilometer coastline along the Arabian Sea and Gulf of Oman in the south, and is bordered by India to the east, Afghanistan to the west, Iran to the southwest, and China to the northeast. It is separated narrowly from Tajikistan by Afghanistan's Wakhan corridor in the northwest, and also shares a maritime border with Oman. Economy of Pakistan is the 23rd largest in the world in terms of purchasing power parity, and 42nd largest in terms of nominal gross domestic product. Economists estimate that Pakistan was part of the wealthiest regions of the world throughout the first millennium CE, with the largest economy by GDP. It has a nominal GDP of $306.7 billion. Number 5. Malaysia. GDP $402.6 billion. Malaysia is a country in Southeast Asia. The federal constitutional monarchy consists of 13 states and 3 federal territories, separated by the South China into 2 regions, Peninsular Malaysia and Borneo's East Malaysia. Peninsular Malaysia shares a land and maritime border with Thailand, and maritime borders with Singapore, Vietnam, and Indonesia. East Malaysia shares land and maritime borders with Brunei and Indonesia, and a maritime border with the Philippines and Vietnam. Malaysia is a relatively open state-oriented and newly industrialized market economy. The state plays a significant but declining role in guiding economic activity through macroeconomic plans. Malaysia has had one of the best economic records in Asia, with GDP growing on average 6.5% annually from 1957 to 2005. Malaysia's economy in 2014 to 2015 was one of the most competitive in Asia, ranking 6th in Asia and 20th in the world, higher than other countries like Australia, France, and South Korea. In 2014, Malaysia's economy grew 6%, the second highest growth in ASEAN, behind the Philippines' growth of 6.1%. The economy of Malaysia in terms of gross domestic product at purchasing power parity in April 2019 was estimated to be $999.397 billion, the third largest in ASEAN and 25th largest in the world. Its nominal GDP is $402.6 billion. Number 4. Iran. GDP $413.1 billion. Iran, also called Persia and officially the Islamic Republic of Iran, is a country in Western Asia. It is bordered to the northwest by Armenia and Azerbaijan, to the north by Caspian Sea, to the northeast by Turkmenistan, to the east by Afghanistan, to the southeast by Pakistan, to the south by the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman, and to the west by Turkey and Iraq. Iran covers an area of 1,648,195 km square, with a population of 83 million. It is the second largest country in the Middle East, and its capital and largest city is Tehran. Iran's economy is a mixture of central planning, state ownership of oil and other large enterprises, village agriculture, and small-scale private trading and service ventures. In 2017, GDP was $427.7 billion. Iran is ranked as an upper-middle-income economy by the World Bank. In the early 21st century, the service sector contributed the largest percentage of GDP, followed by industry, mining and manufacturing, and agriculture. Its nominal GDP is $413.1 billion. Number 3. UAE. GDP $427.8 billion. The United Arab Emirates is a country in Western Asia, located at the eastern end of the Arabian Peninsula. It borders Oman and Saudi Arabia and has maritime borders in the Persian Gulf with Qatar and Iran. It is a federal elective constitutional monarchy formed from Federation of 7 emirates. Their boundaries have numerous enclaves within each other. Each emirate is governed by a ruler who together form the Federal Supreme Council, and one of whom serves as President of the United Arab Emirates. The UAE has developed from a juxtaposition of Bedouin tribes to one of the world's most wealthy states in only about 50 years. Economic growth has been impressive and steady throughout the history of this young confederation of emirates, with brief periods of recessions only. Between 2000 and 2018, average real GDP growth was at close to 4%. It is the third largest economy in the GCC, with a nominal gross domestic product of $427.8 billion. Number 2. Saudi Arabia. GDP $683.8 billion. Saudi Arabia, officially the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, is a country in Western Asia, constituting the vast majority of the Arabian Peninsula. With a land area of approximately 2,150,000 km square, Saudi Arabia is geographically the largest sovereign state in Western Asia, the second largest in the Arab world, the fifth largest in Asia, and the 12th largest in the world. Saudi Arabia is bordered by Jordan and Iraq to the north, Kuwait to the northeast, Qatar, Bahrain, and the UAE to the east, Oman to the southeast, and Yemen to the south. Saudi Arabia is the only country with both a Red Sea coast and a Persian Gulf coast, and most of its terrain consists of arid desert, lowland, steppe, and mountains. Saudi Arabia is the second largest economy in the Middle East and the 19th largest in the world. Saudi Arabia has the world's second largest proven petroleum in the world, and the country is the largest exporter of petroleum. It also has the fifth largest proven natural gas reserve. Saudi Arabia is considered an energy superpower. It has the third highest total estimated value of natural resources, valued at $34.4 trillion in 2016. Saudi Arabia's command economy is petroleum-based. Roughly 63% of budget revenues and 67% of export earnings come from the oil industry. Its nominal GDP is $683.8 billion. Number 1. Turkey. GDP $851.1 billion. Turkey is a transcontinental country straddling Western Asia and Southeastern Europe. It's bordered on the northwest by Greece and Bulgaria, north by the Black Sea, northeast by Georgia, east by Armenia, Azerbaijan, and Iran, southeast by Iraq, south by Syria and the Mediterranean Sea, and west by the Aegean Sea. Approximately 70 to 80% of the country's citizens are ethnic Turks. Istanbul, which straddles Europe and Asia, is the country's largest city, while Ankara is the capital. The automotive industry in Turkey is sizable and produced over 1.3 million motor vehicles in 2015, ranking as the 14th largest producer in the world. Turkish shipyards are highly regarded both for the production of chemical and oil tankers, up to 10,000 deadweight tonnage, and also for their Turkish brands like Beko and Vestel, which are among the largest producers of consumer electronics and home appliances in Europe, and invest a substantial amount of funds for research and development in new technologies related to these fields. Its nominal GDP is $851.1 billion. Thanks for watching, guys. Please do not forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell for more amazing content.